up, guys? How y'all doing today? Baby, how y'all doing today? I decided to come on here really quick and just talk about everything that's going on with Portia and Simon and what went wrong, y'all. I told y'all I was going to go out there and put my ear to these Atlanta streets, and baby, putting my ear to these streets, I am. Now, if you guys don't know, Portia filed for divorce from Simon. Now, listen, I had a bunch of people in my comments talking about receipts. Where does it say this? This is the same people that literally accuse all those things about the immigration. Hey, what's up, Blurred Lines? Hey, Colin, what's up, Anthony? What's up, baby girl? How y'all doing? These are the same people that literally accused people of making up the documents about Simon and the immigration. I'm gonna have to take notes today because you know I like to ramble, but there are so many things to go on. Simon and his immigration problem, and that might be the reason why Portia filed. Let me make sure I got my good audio set up for this one. Can you hear me? Does my voice sound like caramel? What's up, Iberia Rose? Hey there. Yo, this is a Tattle Tell reunion. We was waiting on this. And I don't say that with any joy. What's up, Sandra? Thank you for joining the membership. Hey, everybody. Listen, let me tell y'all something. For the people in the back that are talking about some receipts, baby, the receipts are in People magazine. This is an exclusive directly from Portia's people. For the receipts, you can hop, skip, and jump to Fulton County Courthouse, the same exact courthouse that Simon got all his divorces filed. Let's not say the one thing for certain, two things for sure. Simon going to marry a Georgia peach, and he also going to divorce her in Fulton County. That's where your proof is. A lot of people are asking for, oh my God, we need receipts for the immigration. Literally take the docket number, take Simon's name. But let me just say this, right? Y'all, this is getting serious because you know what the thing is? Everything that came out, we're going to talk about what went wrong. Simon breaks his silence. I have all that. Listen, it's going to be a key. But let me just say this when it comes to Simon and his immigration. You know, I did a lot. Y'all know when I did a lot of digging. And a lot of stuff that Simon did come up. The thing is, there was a lot of stuff that didn't come up in, you know, the criminal stuff that people that knew Simon from back in the day came, and this is 2 years ago, bought me receipts that were credible that showed everything Simon was into. Why is that important? Because y'all realize that Simon Iori Gabodia may not actually be Simon. Because here's the thing, Simon got illegal permanent residence in the U.S. and baby, he is close to deportation if the U.S. government actually follows their laws. And baby, now that they got him on the radar, they are. But Simon Iorgiobodia is the name on his passport. It's the name on his visa. A U.S. immigration federal, of course, there's only federal immigration. A U.S. federal immigration judge actually said that everything on Simon's, that Simon's been here for the last 30 years off of a fake ID. Remember I told y'all Simon don't fear God? Well, it looked like Portia do. And it looked like God came to her. Remember Portia's book where she said that she was in a club and heard, girl, you look good once you back that thing up. And she said all of a sudden, everything got very quiet in the club. And God came down to her and said, what are you doing here, my child? And she was like, what am I doing here? How much you want to bet Portia going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta in that confessional talking about, and then God came down and said to me, what are you doing, my child? Turn away. How much you want to bet, of course, you're going to be with the itch and giggles? Now, the real question of Real Housewives of Atlanta, because yes, I will be reviewing this season, right? The real question is, are they going to let Portia skate, fly, leave scenes, lie like she did with Dennis, right? Or are they going to turn this into Portia Family Matters too? When basically that whole season was a takedown of Portia, and Portia ruined her good girl facade. Because prior to that, we were all fans of Portia. She seemed like an absolute sweetheart, heart of gold. Yes, she needed to learn basic physics. She needed to learn history. She needed to learn Black history. But she seemed like she had a heart of gold. Oh my, how things have changed. And let me just say this before we begin this live. Let's talk about the people that said, sounds like Portia got a bag. Baby, it sounds like you're going to be broke and desolate your whole life. And it sounds like you dating a Simon Gabati and you don't even know it. Can someone tell me how Portia got a bag? Portia went into this with 3 jobs. The sweetheart of Real Housewives of Atlanta, a cushy storyline. They were letting her skate. A cushy storyline. She was doing her dirt, maybe getting an African acute to here or there. She had her own money, own car, own house. But more importantly, she had her reputation. She wasn't known as somebody that literally would do something strange for some change. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care whether you believe in girl code or not. A damn woman going, well, there's a dummy born every day. A damn woman going to have a single Portia Williams in her house, in her face, even on her group chat. If you were smart, because now you know that when Portia sees an opportunity, right? When Portia sees an opportunity, she don't care. She will go for it. Most importantly, she's too stupid to even know when the goal resides. So you might be like, we're going to invite Portia over. She don't want that with my man. He broke. All that man got to do is walk in the living room and jingle some change in his pocket. And Portia going to come running by like a puppy. All he got to do is tell Portia, my private jet and Bentley are currently in Costa Rica. So can you pay for this? And Portia gonna be ready. So if you think that your man is too broke for Portia to want, all he got to do is just literally pay $109 for an internet profile. That's all he got to do. Portia gonna become running. She gonna be like, Lauren, he got money, and Lauren gonna be like, didn't we just learn from this? I'm just saying. Portia's reputation is completely ruined. She now is that girl, that woman, that person. The same way guys don't be having slimy guys that's always trying to snake them and sleep with the girls. It's the same way women are like, why would you invite Portia to the party? Especially now that she's single. She kind of was doing image rehab because she was around Simon, right? But we all know old man River go to sleep at 9 o'clock and Portia like to twerk until 3 a.m. Side note, Atlanta is saying that Simon had to flee the country in shame, in fear, depends what you talking about. He's back in Costa Rica, but Portia is painting the town red with a girl that she's hoping she can bring on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know. Listen, Portia always got a scheme. And for those of y'all, the only question was, how much of this did Portia know? How much of this was she involved with? I believe that once Fallon came out and said that Simon was brokety broke, and even though it's on a larger scale, she's like, there's some weeks we would be in the club spending 20,000. Imagine being 50-something years old in the club blowing 20,000. So some 20-year-olds could be like, hey, go Simon, go Simon. That's the type of dizziness she was at. I'll be honest with you. Fallon to me always treated Simon like he was a lick. But Fallon left Simon with cars, with a settlement, with houses, right? Well, not houses, but she got some in the house, but with cars, many this. Portia ain't get that. Her name wasn't on the house. I don't believe those cars are in her name. Now, I don't have confirmation on that. We're going to have to wait and see. But if Portia's not running around in that Bentley, remember when she faked Simon giving her a Bentley, but both of them looked like they were too drunk off of De Leon tequila, and Portia had like all her snacks and her gummy bear wrappers in the front seat. So it's like, that's a new car because it looks like you, and her half empty water bottle because it looked like you've been driving that mug for a minute. You know, you have the snacks in the little cup holder thing. Some Welch's grape snacks or the fruit snacks and the mixed fruit flavor. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So anyway, right? Fallon said, some days we had 20,000 to blow in the club. Some weeks I was asking my family for food money because Simon has scammer money. When it's raining, it's pouring. But baby, sometimes you be sitting there praying, talking about rain soon come, rain soon come. Simon was literally just posting up a couple of days ago talking about some good old USA like it was a joke. Baby, you got your ass out of the USA quick as can be. You know them boys was 2 seconds away from you. But with no further ado, let's look at how Simon has broken his silence. And then we're going to break apart what the streets are saying about Simon, about Portia, and what really went wrong. And if Portia knew, and if she knew, how much did she know? Now, I do want to say this. Portia knew that Simon's money is funny. She had to know. When did he work? What did he do? What offices did you go to? What employees did you meet? Like, what did you ever, like, honestly? Also, I will say this. Portia went out of her way to craftily craft a social media image because she needed everybody to think that Simon was wealthy, because I think she thought she robbed a bank. And like I used to say 2 years ago, she got a Crown Royal bag filled with pennies. And then, because it wasn't about Simon, it was about Fallon. She had this weirdly weird, unhealthy obsession with Fallon. I will say one thing. Portia wanted Fallon's entire life, baby. You got her entire life down to that MF and divorce, right? Portia was talking about some on Dish Nation. We're going to have 3 weddings and a funeral. For the haters, baby, you must be your biggest hater because you just had 2 weddings and a funeral for that wedding. She didn't even make it a year. If somebody files for divorce after 15 months, how long have you been miserable? That means for all the people buying like Portia got a bag, they look so happy. I see how Simon is able to get over so much because, not y'all, but people are gullible. You see people setting up an MFing camera and filming them saying, I love you. You're wonderful. And you think that ish is real? You think that ish is real? It's a camera. It's in my face. We set it up to capture our love. On top of that, I can edit, delete, chop, and screw. Baby, this ain't live. How is this real life to people? I don't understand. This is Portia did. Well, if only somebody could have known. If only somebody had said from the beginning. If only. Honestly, I take no joy in saying this. It breaks my heart that a scam, if you will, that spanned decades, a 30-year con, that some dummies had the nerve to believe the tagline, it was 30 years ago. Baby, I'm going to clap. A 30-year con that spanned decades came crashing down. And not because of me, not because of she, not because of him, not because of them, but because of your own ego and your own hubris. I know that got to hurt. Ain't nobody mess up your bag. Because as you prove, there are hundreds and thousands of gullible people. You floss. That's how hush pup. You floss some shit on social media. People like, oh, he has to, even though there's no proof. But you literally conned the nation, if you will. And it all came crashing down because you flew too close to the sun, baby. I know that gotta hurt. That would hurt me. I'd be like, oh, I was almost there. Why did I get greedy? Also, you guys, don't forget, Members Only Monday happening all 2024, baby. We're going to break this down. And I'm going to give y'all the uncensored version of what the streets are really saying. And baby, why Simon might have been playing and dabbling in Dubai, the streets are saying that Portia was having her fun in Atlanta too. Apparently, how Dennis' mama sees Portia, it might not be that far from the truth. Anyway, y'all, let's get into this. Sandra Woodward, thank you so much for joining. Miss Charmaine, thank you so much for joining. Yo, this is a Tattle Tells reunion. Who gonna be voted prom king and queen? Miss Charmaine, thank you so much for the super chat and for joining the memberships. All right, y'all. Now let's get into, Tamara Allen said a scammer got scammed. Well, here's the thing. Portia, I just want to say this, and this is just my opinion, okay? Let me put myself on the Summer Jam screen. Simon scammed Portia. Simon scammed Portia bad. Portia came in with bags, her reputation, all these opportunities. She was the queen of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She went into a relationship with Simon. She don't got a house. I do not believe those cars are in her name, but we will have to see, right? He definitely ain't give her as much as Fallon. She actually got less from what Portia was telling us compared to what Fallon was saying. On top of that, Portia's reputation is ruined. I don't think that Simon got scammed. Simon scammed PORSHA. We'll talk about this in the members only Monday because we got some tea that we can't say publicly, but it still must be said. If y'all interested, right? If y'all want to go save the world, go ahead and save the world, baby. We talking to the streets today, okay? All right, so let's get into this. So let's talk about the way Simon broke his silence. Can I put this bigger? Yes, I can. All right. Everybody, a round of applause for the thumbnail. Simon breaks his silence. You know what? I should have put. I'm about to change that. I'm gonna have to change that thumbnail because I just realized there's no red what do you call it? There's no red thing with the split in the middle of the thumbnail. Y'all know that I am a stickler for my thumbnails. Let me change this real quick. Okay, so while I'm changing it, let's just address a few base rules of logic and physics and living on planet Earth that nobody else kind of wants to address. Okay. First of all, this is 100% certain. PORSHA, I'm 100% certain, leaked the documents of Simon's his immigration. Now, let me tell you why I think that. I went into this earlier, but let me just actually say it with all the out the rah-rah and the jokes, right? First of all, that court thing was done on January 11th, 2024. That's when the federal judge ruled, okay? PORSHA announced that she was joining Housewives. 2 days later, that immigration stuff hit. Now, I did have my sources tell me, yo, and I told y'all before, they were telling me that PORSHA is the one that leaked this. I was like, why would PORSHA leak that? How does that make her look good at all? Okay. I actually didn't think that PORSHA was going to fall for divorce, right? But at the end of the day, that's what happened. But then 2 days later, PORSHA's divorce leaked. That's this. Now, how do we know this is legit? Well, for one thing, People.com, People Magazine got the exclusive. People Magazine is the official mouthpiece of the Housewives. PORSHA did her wedding. PORSHA did this. PORSHA did that. Y'all know People Magazine. They are nothing but a PR magazine. They don't be going out on a limb researching. They say whatever the publicist said. Second of all, you know how PORSHA leaked this? Because much like oh my God, much like Jeezy Jenkins, wouldn't it be funny if PORSHA started dating Jeezy? Tell me she wouldn't. She was hanging out with Jenny and them. Tell me she wouldn't, right? And PORSHA don't care. Compared to Simon, Jeezy seems like a gentleman. But all jokes aside, right? Because she followed the Jeezy rule of divorce. Before it's been filed in court. People have the exclusive documents. This is 100%. But if you do a public record search, it doesn't come up yet because the county clerk has not had time to enter them in. The county clerk, when you submit papers, usually they get them in somewhere in about 24 hours, right? This is going over a weekend. This news dropped on Friday. How do we know PORSHA did this? If it's not entered into the county records, how did People.com get an exclusive? Same way that Jeezy filed for divorce from Jenny, TMZ knew, People Magazine knew. Nobody could find the divorce documents until a day or two later. Why? Because before the clerk could enter it in electronically, PORSHA leaked this. Now ask yourself why PORSHA would actually leak this. Well, a lot of people say that she was very, very upset because Simon was creeping on her in Dubai. Listen, PORSHA was fine to let Simon go ahead and cheat on her. She believed in letting him cheat in peace, from what the streets are saying, because PORSHA was doing her own thing as well. Again, old habits when it comes to PORSHA and Simon definitely die hard. Okay, so let's get into Simon breaking his silence, and let me try to oh, girl, don't worry about it. My bestie just listen, what's up? Coley, don't worry about it. I know you here, but thank you. I appreciate that. Woo. Okay. So let's get into this. I know with no further ado, I just wanted, while I was talking, I just needed to change the thumbnail around so it reflected the drama. It reflected the drama at stake, if you will. Okay, y'all. So anyway, let's go into Simon speaking. Believe it or not, the streets were right. Simon had been hinting that something was amiss with PORSHA for a while, but you guys don't understand that when it came to Simon and PORSHA, people said inside their marriage, Simon always acted like he was the prize. I know PORSHA likes to be like, look at what he got me, look at this, look at that, I'm his little baby. But apparently the truth was, every single time Simon even sneezed the wrong way, PORSHA would pop up to show that she's better than Fallon and she can do this and she can do that. PORSHA treated him like he was the prize, and look what it got her. Let's also not forget, because it cannot be said. Do y'all remember when that girl got on her hands and knees? When that girl got on her hands and knees inside of Tiffany's and Co. in Las Vegas and asked that mofo, looking up while his belly's hanging 2 feet off of his pants, looked up, right? Looked up and asked that mofo, can you please marry me? Again, this is after they were engaged. And y'all talking about whether PORSHA got the bag. Baby, a bag has never been secured by acting like Bonisha picked me. I want you to show me anywhere in history that's ever worked out for the woman. The fact that she somehow thought that on Valentine's Day and showering him with flowers and rings and all this stuff, baby, you saw that on Simon's birthday, she rented out a house, flew his 5 friends, because that's when she first started getting a thing that they didn't have anything. Because it's like, you got all this money, you got 40 million, 400 million, and you could only find 5 people to attend his birthday party. You already knew that it was a scam. Probably literally talking about some, who the F did I marry? Simon probably was like, yes, Mr. Obama, perhaps tomorrow we can talk about an energy fund, Mr. Obama. Okay, good night. Cheers. Tell Michelle I said hi. And PORSHA was like, oh, he talking to Barack Obama. Tell me. PORSHA rented that man out a Miami mansion. He flew the kids down there. She flew a private chef. No lie, who was that chef? Because mama knew how to burn. That woman was cooking. She had the jumbo lump crab pouring down in this economy. She had all that going. Then she sat there and in front of everyone got down on her knee and gave him like what? A $50,000, $85,000 watch? Even when Simon looked at the watch, he even looked a little bit guilty, like, damn, this girl really falling for this mess, right? Listen, she did all of that mess. And y'all talking about how did she scam Simon? He let her move in? What, all the money she put out on trips to buy? Remember, she was laying out how she had bought him a bunch of stuff from Neiman Marcus to upgrade his net. She literally spent much money. And also, let's not forget, Simon, he always had the thing, I take care of the bills and stuff. All that extra stuff you got to take care of. At least that's what the streets are saying. Now, people are saying that Simon actually was giving signs that there was something amiss, but they're saying what was amiss was actually usually PORSHA, whenever he was any displeasure, right? PORSHA would go out of her way to 100% fix it, kiss his butt, do all this stuff. The only problem was, right? The only problem was, and this was something really big. The only problem was, this time PORSHA was like, no. This time PORSHA was like, no. And she said she's leaving. She already knew about what was going on in Dubai. She didn't care. She actually preferred him gone, it seemed like. I mean, honestly, how much time can you take people literally? Y'all all saw the picture. I don't want to be mean, so I'll just be silly. Y'all saw the pictures when Simon kissed like this. Y'all saw Simon. Y'all saw the way. Imagine that laced with cigars and tequila. That man be drinking tequila at 11:38 on a random Wednesday afternoon, talking about he got a business meeting. Talking Portia really is the real life version of, well, the housewives version of Who the F Did I Marry? Vina Person, she said, I think Portia found out he running. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I do know, hold on. Hold on. Okay. I don't know about that. I do know, and we're going to talk about this in Members Only Monday, that there's more that meets the eye and what Simon and Portia were involved with. And I use the term and Portia because, baby, till death do y'all part. I guess it's that funeral she was referring to. Okay, let's get into it first of all. First of all, we got to talk about how Portia ain't never changed. If there's one thing Portia gonna do, she gonna put on a fake image. Portia needs to get a job at Tyler Perry Studios. How miserable do you have to be to file for divorce within 15 months? I at least gave it 2 years. That means that you got sick of them 5 months in. That means 8 months in, it got unbearable. That means 10 months in, you started contacting lawyers a la Jeezy. That means 12 months in, you was still fake smiling. Y'all also need to know that Simon was basically living in Dubai. Everybody was like, oh my God, Portia's living it up. Portia maybe only went to Dubai twice. She just batched photos out. Again, yes, I've been sitting on this information. Thank you, Vina. Yes, I've been sitting on this information because I already told y'all what needed to be said. So I didn't think there was, it's like at the end of the day, it's beating a dead horse. You either believe it or not. You either it's like whatever, believe what you want. This is choose your own adventure. Lindax said, now you need to interview Dennis and his mother. Yo, I know Dennis's mom is cackling. I know she is cackling. Alexander Barrios said, I just knew Tisa was going to cook with a smile today. Hope this is not a stunt and she's actually leaving him and making money on the way out. Okay, first of all, for the people that say this is a stunt, how does this benefit Portia? This man already got exposed with the immigration by pulling this and by People Magazine writing this. This invites people. You understand when scandal comes, you don't want embarrassing scandal. You don't want people looking at you. You want people to look that way. You know what I'm saying? So this is not the time to file for divorce because the first thing people will say is, why would you file for divorce? And they're going to start Googling Simon and they're going to start. And I'm talking about not YouTubers because we're into this or y'all. I'm talking about, well, we all YouTubers, right? But I'm talking about like the general public that really don't pay attention. It's just a passing thing. Almost like when we open people and we're like, oh, what's going on with blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Oh, all right. I guess you don't want to invite permission. All these things drop 2 days apart. Portia could not just have her divorce filing ready. She would have had to met with a lawyer. She would have had to have stuff. Now, I know what you're saying, but it just dropped that Simon and the immigration. No, Simon knew since January 11, 2024, that he was on his way out. And also, and this is just putting this out there, that when you, like I said, it's fruits from a poison tree. The U.S. doesn't let you keep stuff that you gained being illegal in this country. They seize that mess. Portia's name isn't on the house. Portia's name ain't on anything. Portia moving back to that same house, doing this. Good for her for going back to Housewives, but this is 100%, I believe, why she accepted that Housewives contract, because she knew that she was leaving Simon. Didn't she just announce Portia Williams in the house, but Portia Gabadia is, baby, January 11th, she knew. She just accepted her contract a couple of weeks later. So as soon as she knew that Simon's thing got denied, that's when she accepted the contract. Again, I will say one thing. Big ups to any woman or anybody that gets away from somebody as reckless as Simon. Simon is reckless. He don't fear God, baby. He don't fear God. That man does not fear God. So let's get into this, right? First of all, let's talk about the way Portia need a job at Tyler Perry Studios because Mama can create a mood. Listen to this. Let me turn my speakers up so I can actually hear this. Turn the sound up. This is what, before they actually deleted it, I wanted to bring this for a little bit of evidence, right? Listen to this.
To give you.
Again, Portia felt like there was something off going on in Dubai. She had not seen Simon for months. He had been gone, always giving her a different reason why he's coming out. What did Portia do? The same thing she did when she thought he was having cold feet about the wedding. She went to Tiffany & Co. and bought him a ring. But this time, and remember when she went all out for Simon's birthday? And for Portia's birthday, Simon got her like a Hermes keychain or something real cheap. Y'all remember that, right? I said, something ain't adding up. Something ain't adding up. So, because honestly, men that got that much money, they don't even feel comfortable with their women spoiling them because they can buy up the whole Tiffany store if they want. What's that? Right? They like it when, I'm just assuming, because why could you be impressed with someone? You don't have enough money to buy me something I truly wanted. You can't buy that island. You can't buy that yacht. But you know what you can do? You can make me some blueberry pie just like my mama did. You can make me my favorite meal. You can maybe like curate. Like there's different ways. That's like somebody trying to impress you on your birthday with like, I don't know, a Happy Meal or a phone. And you're looking like, I can buy this myself. Like, did you actually do or put any effort? Do you see what I'm saying? It just, when you got money, it just hits different. That's all I'm saying. But what did Portia do when she heard there was a little bit of trouble in paradise? Well, she went over to Dubai, popped up on Simon, posted a phone to the side of the room, and then did this weird mess she always does. Look at this.
Your anniversary gift.
She got him an anniversary gift. Simon didn't get them nothing. Simon didn't even come back to the USA for their anniversary. Talking about he got business. Baby, one thing I know about Dubai, there's too many Nigerians with money, and those men are filthy rich. They got number 2, 3s, and 4 assistants running background checks on anybody that do business with them. Simon ain't stand a chance. You couldn't even fly back home. This is the first thing. You couldn't even fly back home on your anniversary, your first year anniversary. You had, listen.
I just want to say that I love you so much. I adore you from now to infinity and beyond, even after death.
Pause. I don't think Portia's going to go for. I thought she was an actress, but maybe it needs to be a typecast role because that sounded mad phony to me. Portia, we've been watching you for 10 years. We know what or 15 years. We know what your real laugh sounds like. While he's sitting there, passenger princess, belly poking, being spoiled. How did we not see that this was the fall of the Roman Empire happening in our face? But let's continue. And also the fact that so many people were like, love wins. This is a 100% not fake, authentic moment captured on an iPhone.
So I wanted to get you something to show you.
There goes the rest of. This is Portia's Real Housewives trip. Check. Look at this.
Another ring?
Now, this is when I knew that this fool was up to no good. Let's peep Simon's response one more time. This woman flew 36 hours or however long it takes to get there from Atlanta, assuming he didn't make her sit in, not even coach, but fly in the cargo hold. 36 hours or however long to Dubai because you, the man of the relationship, couldn't be bothered to leave whatever non-business you were doing in Dubai. And let's also not forget, when you're a businessman, when you're the owner, you control your schedule. You could have controlled all the meetings. First of all, he don't have any meetings, but let's just say he did, right? His round table meetings of his Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger, and Piglet dolls around the table at the Atlanta, right? Pull Bear, I'd like to buy 8 pounds of honey. That was his business meeting. He could have scheduled his business meetings around his first year anniversary, because that's what you do when you're the boss, remember? But Simon don't know what that is, right? This woman flew, bought you a ring, set up a camera, so you know a camera is in your face. She's sitting up there trying, because baby, she heard that those Eastern Europeans like money just like she do. She heard that those Latino girls in Dubai like money just like she do. She heard that those African girls in Dubai like money just like she do. Look at Simon's face in this. Can I make this bigger? Here we go. Look at this man's face and what he says.
Oh. Another ring? Oh.
Now, here's what I also noticed. Okay, I'll get to the point, but you know I love dissecting stuff, because y'all gonna have to dissect this. We besties, babe. Give those kids some Oreos and tell your man to order some In-N-Out. Listen, or your girl. I don't know. Don't matter. Tell them to order some In-N-Out and throw those kids some Oreos. They've been begging for them all week. Just let them have the Oreos. Look at when she gave it. The way he was like, a man you giving jewelry, and all he could say is, this is how you know he was passenger princess. Another ring? You disappointed? You disappointed? You disappointed? And then here's the funny thing. If you look at the thing, it immediately jumps. She had to edit everything else. Look, you'll see the jump, so she could edit it out. All right, let's get into this. You saw the jump. Oh. What did he get her? What did he get her?
This is called bitches. Keep the fuck moving. Are you blind? You see that on that brother? You see that on that man? Does he look single to you?
So, Portia? That's what I'm saying. Portia did not win. You had this all crusty mofo acting like he was the passenger princess. You should be ashamed. You should be embarrassed. Take back her player card. That is what women do. You see this. You see this. If any guy pulls up on me, it's like, baby, I'm taken. You see the look. You see that. That is what women do. Portia is laughing that she had to buy who knows how much $1,000 ring for this man. And now he talking about keep it stepping. You see the thing. This man's taken. Ladies, I don't know if you've ever been to Dubai. And I don't know if you've ever seen the material. But let me just say this. Simon, if we're in Zuma, if we're in Nobu, if we're anywhere in downtown Dubai Financial, because that's where all the expats hang out, and it's a crowded room, baby, I guarantee you don't got nothing to worry about. Portia, he could walk in there naked. He'd have nothing to worry about. For many different reasons, admittedly. Part of it is. But honestly, he could walk in there with $100 bills taped over his whole body. He don't got nothing to worry about. You see this? You see this? He is the prize. He is a passenger princess. Tell me Portia ain't get scammed. Got her on her hands and knees filming and asking him to recommit to her. But let's keep going.
Keep it stepping.
That's the keep it stepping ring.
That's right. Keep it stepping ring.
Keep it stepping ring.
That way.
That way.
What woman gives her husband a keep it stepping ring? And why is he joking about this? Because he is the prize. Yo, Portia is just
Not this way.
No, yeah, this way.
No, I'm taking. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Go this way. Portia, you better shut up. I'll tell you one thing. She know where to start it. She can get knuck and buck in Atlanta, baby. You even open your mouth too loud in Dubai, and you're going to be sitting in prison. Baby, don't be saying this way in Dubai. I know those girls were looking like she must not know how things go around here. Hold on. Hold on. Let's not get copyright. 1 second. Anyway, she's busy they're showing the camera off, upgrading, all this other stuff. Hold on. Okay, so this is when it goes into, Simon also posted this on his Instagram just days before Portia filed for divorce. Again, Simon thought he was passenger princess. Again, this is the reason I'm showing this before we get to Simon's response is for all the people talking about Porsha secured the bag. Listen, I got my faves too. But baby, even I can admit when my faves messed up. Like, hang it up, flat screen. Treat her like you're. Listen. Yeah. People are, sorry guys, people, like I said, Porsha doing all this mess. People think, nah, she came in and accomplished her goal. What was her goal? Being humiliated? Getting on her hands and knees, giving men rings. Porsha, I'm willing to bet, spent all her, I hope she didn't, but it looks like she spent all her money on her wedding and spoiling her passenger princess Simon. Simon also posted this.
Long-standing research into
what predicts divorce?
Well, I have to give credit where credit's due, but the most long-standing research into marriage and relationships was by the Gottman Institution, and they did the most scientific and objective analysis of relationships, and they studied 10,000 couples in a lab over a couple of days, and they were able to predict with 80% accuracy which couples would stay together and which ones would get divorced within a year. And it was so simple what they were able to find, and it was simple thing as responding to each other's bids for connection. What I mean by this is when we have a partnership where one person comes home and expresses an emotion, the other one picks up on it, that partnership has the base levels to last a really long time. So it could be a simple thing like you come home from work and say, oh, I'm so tired, and your partner says, why, what's wrong? Simple connection. From that connection, they trust each other, and then they start to lean into each other. But if you come home and you're like, I'm so tired, and your partner either says nothing or says, why are you tired? I'm the one that's been with the kids all day, or what have you done all day? I've been at work all day. That turning away from each other's emotional needs is the training ground for divorce.
What predicts?
Okay, so here Simon was trying to tell Porsha, you better stop complaining about me not coming around because bada, this, that, and a third. Hey, what's up, Andrew Davey? This is an old school reunion. Andrew Davey said, to be fair, Porsha now gets an extra spicy storyline on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I agree with that. On the flip side, Porsha's going to have to address this mess on the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I 100% agree with you, Andrew. Again, this is Tattle Tells reunion. Let me just say this though, okay? And thank you for being a member for 28 months. You've been rocking with me for the longest. I hope I see you in Members Only Monday, whatever. But anyway, let me just say this though, and I will say it once, twice, 3 times to be a lady. Porsha has more to worry about than that. Porsha is basically has a scarlet letter on her in Atlanta. Porsha wants to get remarried. At the end of the day, Porsha wants Simon without the scam. Porsha just wanted to be a housewife to a guy with some money that she could like front on, not even front, but just flex on Instagram, raise her kid and do whatever. Porsha doesn't want to work. She doesn't like that. She doesn't want to be exposed on Housewives. Do you know what I'm saying? So on one hand, yeah, Porsha, you're glad you got some income coming in. But on second of all, I 100% believe this is the zero thing that Porsha wanted to happen. How's she going to get her next man? You going to let Porsha in your house? You going to let, who's that? Oh, Porsha, she was texting you about what? Honestly, literally. Anyway, Omni, Harrell, Depp, thank you so, Pep. Thank you so much for the super chat. Now let's get into everything else. Simon
Divorce.
Thank you guys. Okay. Now I agree 100% with Ray Sani, right? She's on Twitter. Ray Sani said, there's literally no benefit to Porsha marrying Simon. She's back to work with another divorce on her record. There's no businesses, no cash, just pretty pictures. She said, I wish I was beautiful. You let me get away with anything. Now, Ray Sani, I respectfully disagree. You are beautiful, but let's keep going in. She said, don't talk to me about $1 million deal. I promise you, she didn't get called a homewrecker for a year, run away from all her jobs, and then get publicly humiliated by those court documents just to have leverage negotiating a deal with NBC Universal. I also want to say this to the people that think that Portia got $1 million deal. You're insane. Portia ain't have $1 million deal when she was at the height of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Why? Because every time she fought, they wouldn't give her raises. So Portia was always one of the mid to low paid people. That's why she also wanted to run away. And every time it was time for her to get a raise, she would get into another fight. Anyway, let's keep going, right?
To give you.
Wait, hold on.
would stay together and which to last a really long time.
Let's see.
But if you come home and you're like, I'm so tired, and you need
Telling her to
is
stop. That's Passenger Princess. Anyway, you got him. Okay, so this is how Simon has broken his silence. Hold on, y'all. Let me get into this. Listen, first of all, I can't wait till that messy Simon goes live. The same way he went live for Fallon, he gonna be telling all Portia's business. Please best and believe what's going to happen. All right, so listen, let's get into this. Let me just pull the photos up so I can actually read them. Wrong phone. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So Simon posted, in the last 17 years, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to grow our businesses, which in turn keep employing and feeding more American families and fueling the American dream. That's the real American dream, when you bless others with opportunities. Sir, who have you blessed? What business do you have? What do you do? Can you be certain? Okay. He then posted some mess about wishing his son a happy birthday. Now, Portia should have known, when Simon's daughter doesn't mess with him at all, any little girl that does, or she's a grown girl now, but any girl that does not mess with their father, baby, it's like meeting a man that don't mess with his mother. There's a reason behind it. Because little girls don't usually just be like, I hate my dad. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he also put, happy Tuesday to all who ever overcame and preserved in life. You are winning. Again, Simon is literally giving himself a pep talk. But hold on. That was what he posted when that mess came up about his the deportation and all this other stuff. Do you know that after all that was said and done, the only thing he did was 2 hours ago, he posted a picture of him on a golf cart, smiling, looking like a loser, to let us know that his geotag is Costa Rica. Now, baby, we're going to have to see pictures inside the house, because the streets are saying that this is when he was bragging that he was in the good old USA before those divorce papers hit. Then after those divorce papers hit, the next thing he did, woo! Oh, somebody also said Portia quit all her jobs as soon as they met. The moment she said she was coming back, I knew she was never going to work again unless she left him. Okay. Simon has put, he still has entrepreneur, husband, father, CEO, philanthropist. Why? Because you gave out a couple of turkeys and Hosea feeds the kids, and you are into car and golf enthusiasts. Baby, shut up. Anyway, he then started posting mess about, again. Oh, that's another thing I do want to say. Simon's Instagram page was down for a minute, and then he put it back up. I think that's when the news of the divorce hit. People sent me screenshots, and then it was up again. Again, Simon was blindsided. He was putting 11:11, all this stuff, talking about Portia. Before we get into what else he says, can we just take a minute and talk about this Pilar situation? Because I really want to talk about the Pilar situation. AJ said Portia wanted a man to flex on Dennis, and baby, Dennis is laughing, because say what you want about Dennis. Dennis got a real job. We know where Dennis money's come from. We don't need to see what's in Dennis's bank account. That's his business. But we know where his money come from. But can I just say this, right? Because we got to talk about this. Women and men. This is a very special episode of Tattle Tells. We got to start doing better, because the one thing that everybody found most disturbing, that everybody else, that the PORSHA dummies were like, so what? That's her forever partner. Love is love. That's her daddy now. Remember when PORSHA, we found out they were dating, and she announced it by putting a picture of Pilar on Simon's lap. And we were like, what the F are you doing? You don't know this man. And she didn't know this man. Remember when we were all like, you don't know this man. You don't know him. You do not know him. For him to be babysitting your kids, for him to be this. Now, I'm not implying at all that Simon would ever do anything inappropriate. That is not my point. My point is, PORSHA ain't know that man. She truly, to the definition of the word, did not know who she married. You don't even know this man's real name. You don't really know this man's true history. You don't know anything about this man. You don't even know how much is in his bank account. You don't even know where his businesses are. You don't know anything. But you got your daughter. You got him, first of all, gangbanging in the comments with Dennis, subbing him the daughter's father. Because why? PORSHA mad that Dennis didn't want her? That's all it was. That's what I saw from PORSHA Family Matters. Let me know if I'm wrong. Again, all this is based upon my information and the belief. I'm telling y'all what the streets are saying and what the U.S. Immigration Court is saying. You got him doing all this. You forced a relationship for Pilar to accept him as a father, for your daughter to take him into her heart as a father figure, to see him as somebody that she can rely on, depend on, as a father figure. Even though you didn't even need to know about his shady scamming past, even though you saw him abandon his own flesh and blood, all that time Simon was in Dubai, when did he ever fly any of his kids over? When? The only time he messed with his kids is when PORSHA did something for them. At least that's what it looked like with me. To me, just like the only time he messed with his kids was when Fallon was being the mom, pulling him together. You forced a relationship with Pilar, even though you saw the way he coldly and cruelly, I don't care what Fallon did. I really don't. You were a father figure to those boys. Hadn't Fallon and Simon been dating for 5 or 6 years? They looked at you as somebody. You literally blocked them and ghosted them. Liam, the youngest, was trying to text him. But Simon didn't even give him the courtesy of even explaining, things didn't work out between me and your mom. I'm always going to be here for you. He didn't even give him the courtesy. He left him on red. And then when Liam tried to call him, he blocked him. You saw what that man was capable of. And you still fed your daughter, which to me really is sad, because that's how generational curses. PORSHA got that generational curse that a man gonna make everything all right. And it don't matter whether somebody, it's not the point of somebody being a husband or a father. It's, do they act like a husband? Do they act like a father? Do they have the character of a husband? Do they have the character of a father? PORSHA got that generational curse. As long as she got a husband, that's all that matters. No, baby. All that matters is, what is the definition of a husband? That's what you need that man to be. Again, she got a father, she got a father, she got a stepfather. He loved her, he loved her, he loved her. Let's see how many times. Let's see how many times now Simon hang out with PJ. Let's see how many times. Let's see if Simon standing at PJ's graduation. I'm not even talking about college. Did PJ? Let's see if she's at her kindergarten graduation. Let's see if she's at her first grade, second grade, third grade. You literally set your daughter up to be attached to a man, and even 15 months later, you left. Again, when we told PORSHA, you don't know that man, we meant that in the truest sense. The only way she knew Simon was biblically, and she was willing to even sacrifice PJ's mental, PJ's attachment, PJ's childhood, PJ's mental health, so she could chase a fantasy. All this to steal somebody else's man and then shove it. I don't care what anybody says. The reason she forced that relationship so much is because Fallon's kids were so hurt by Simon dumping them. And she wanted to die. And Fallon was actually hurt about that. That's the only time I saw her tear up on other people's interviews, right? I got an interview with Fallon too, a couple. Go ahead and check them out. But that's the only time I remember her tearing up, really, when she talked about how cold he was for the kids. And then just like Porsha wrote that when she got engaged to Cordell, they were engaged for a year. And Porsha was creeping on with Cordell while he was engaged to the mother of his child. Cordell dumped that girl, kicked her out. He took that girl's ring back. And when he asked Porsha to marry him, he gave Porsha that girl's wedding ring. And Porsha ran around for a year and a half with another woman's engagement ring. And only after they got married was like, oh, can we upgrade it? Because you wanted that woman to hurt. Because in a weird way, you grew up seeing your mom being mistreated as the other woman. And you wanted, I don't know, what's some weird thing where you wanted to become the mistress that takes your mom away? I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. My whole point of the matter is the same way you wanted to force that relationship with PJ and Simon because you wanted Fallon to know he don't even give a F about your kids, but baby, he stepped into being a father with mine. Let's also not forget that Fallon used to say that even though that was a father figure, Simon never really took that much interest in being a father to any of the kids. So just like a Khloe Kardashian bird, Porsha had to create this thing about like, oh, look, he's the perfect father to me. He's the perfect father to me. What's up, Bunny McKenzie? How you doing today? What's up? Thank you for joining the Tattle Tells. Again, she had to let it be known he's the perfect father for me. He is the perfect man. Again, that's why I say never flex on a woman, another woman with a man. Because one thing about a man, oh, baby, they will embarrass you. They will embarrass you to your core, especially when you know that man don't have any home training, especially when you know that man leaves like litter. What is it? The scene from, what is it? The listen, murder. Literally, he is the literally embodiment of Jay-Z's verse on Monster. Woo! He just be like, ugh. I smell a little massacre. Anyway, y'all, let's get back into what Simon has posted. So Simon posted, I'm trying to find a slide. 2 hours ago, Simon broke his silence, smiling, cheesing, showing he don't fear God, cheesing and letting him know he's in Costa Rica. Baby, were you able to get the Airbnb that week? What's going on? Was whoever's mansion that is, did they let you stay there that week? Remember when Simon was trying to convince everybody that he had a private chef on deck in that and that he owned that place? Even though when the chef greeted him, the first thing the chef said was, welcome to Costa Rica. That's what your chef's telling you. And mind you, this is a chef that kept returning. This is supposed to be their umpteenth trip. Y'all, listen. Let's keep going. Again, I think it's really, what do y'all think in the comments? I'll jump in there in a second. I really honestly think it's very, very sad what Porsha did to Pilar. It was really unnecessary, but whatever. Again, social media is not real. This is what they posted. And Porsha had, if Porsha ends up with Jeezy, I'm going to fall out. Or at least you see them on a date. Porsha had the divorce papers in her pocketbook when she was doing this. Porsha had those papers in the purse when she was doing this mess. Yes. Y'all talk about love wins. Y'all, this Porsha is sick. It can be cold. She had those papers packed in her carry-on, ready and waiting while she was filming all this love wins. I had to come out. When she was posting with her Valentine's Day mess that she probably bought herself, she had those divorce papers ready and waiting. Y'all, that's some nasty work. That is some nasty work. Porsha is not to be effed with. This is her bigging him up in the club, showing off what he got. Okay, so listen. Did I skip past the thing? Let me just get to the point. Where's the gold? We don't even need that. Let's get back in to this. Hold on. Let me open this up let me see. bring some people on. One second. Let me just flip over. But y'all, honestly, what do you think about that? I think it's a shame and a scandal. I also believe, let's read some comments that people actually, let's see. Hold on a second. Ooh, hold on a second. I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon, but let me just say this because I got some tea for y'all. Hold on. Let me just get this in. Thank you so much, Stephanie Brown. Thank you, Valerie Renee. Thank you, Culinaire. Thank you, Sherry Couture. Thank you, everybody, for looking out for me. I really appreciate that. One second, y'all. Let me just get this up and going. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. 1 second. I just need to send this off. It's a link. 1 second. There we go. There we go. 1 second. So anyway, yeah, it is a shame and a scandal. A shame and a scandal. Okay, so let me just read some comments why I'm waiting for people to come up here. Okay, so let me tell you what's going on with the immigration case. Like I said, maybe it's a good thing PORSHA don't got her name on that house. You know that anything Simon bought, owned, even had bank accounts, since they have already found as of January 11th that he is here illegally, y'all know, right? Y'all know that everything could and probably can be seized. Those pretty cars, actually, where are Simon's cars? Did he have to sell those? What is going on? Did he get rid of those cars after the 11th of January? I would have. Because, baby, they take stuff when they deport. You cannot illegally come into the country, enrich yourself, and then bounce. In that case, people would just come in, make their money, and then move back where they came from. The federal government does have the right to seize all things. On top of that, Simon, I guess we can ascertain, is not his real name. And the fact that even his fake name got a criminal history. Hold on, y'all. Let's get into this. Let me pull this up. They say, okay. So now here's the real tea. People are saying that PORSHA is currently out partying. She don't got a care in the world. She is back and she is single, ready to mingle. They said that PORSHA used them as a billboard so every man could see how good a wife she was for 15 months. So maybe she'll be good to me. Too bad. And this is what the streets in Atlanta are saying, that PORSHA was cheating the whole time. And they are sure, or at least they think, that Simon got receipts on PORSHA just like he had receipts on Fallon, or so he thought. I don't know if he had receipts on Fallon, but I don't think that he had receipts on Fallon, but he tried to make something. And if he tried to make something on Fallon, why wouldn't he try at all to make something for hold on a second, to make something for PORSHA? Now, let me just say this, right? Let me just say this. PORSHA is some cold work. She knew that the paperwork was dropping today on Friday. She was just at Nene's son's birthday party. PORSHA's name is not on the house, and she didn't get the money she wanted in the prenup. And even if the prenup says that she gets $5 million, how are you going to collect on the prenup? Simon is like a ghost. He don't live in the USA. And if Simon's not allowed in the USA anymore, and the government sees his bank accounts, where are you getting money from a prenup? Baby, that paper is worth what Simon's green card's written on, the same amount, right? Again, maybe she leaves with one car, and that's even if that car was in her name. Because the furniture, the streets are saying, most definitely came with that house. Another person said, welcome to Pound Town, PORSHA. Simon, you paying for the wedding? Simon, my money is tied up in investments. LOL, he a straight hustler. F. Bard said, Portia absolutely knew everything. And that was iBlack 1634 that said Simon a straight hustler. Another person said, hold on, let's get into this. Said F. Bard said Portia absolutely knew everything or strongly suspected it was out of order. She was in Dubai hoping that Simon would put her in a circle to find another wealthy man. She was in Dubai faking trying to find someone else, basically peeing herself out to find a sugar daddy, sort of like Kim K, JB. I mean, I wouldn't put it past it. Miss Roney 74 said, I really don't think she was in Dubai for Valentine's. Remember when you said she doesn't post in real time? I noticed the same swimsuit from Dubai trip last year. I think she took video and pics in different wigs, etc., like content creators, and posted them later when convenient. Oh my God, I think you're right. She's been doing that. Then she makes a lot of PJ posts when breaking news happens for sympathy. Ooh, I think y'all cracked the code. Y'all, listen. Also, Divinity 777 said, they think that the news caught Portia by surprise, saying she was saying Portia Gabodia coming back, not Portia Williams. She didn't know all the details at all. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I 100% do think that Portia, I think she knew about this 100%. As his wife, she would have to be involved in the immigration process. He'd have to actually notify him that he's married to an American citizenship. Y'all listen. Anyway, what you got to say? Let's see you weigh in. What do you have to say?
Well, hello, Miss Tisa Diva. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
You know what? I feel like it's just crazy. First off, I'm happy that you're covering it because you know what? You were right about everything. You absolutely were. I mean, you had all the receipts 2 years ago. And I think that Portia need to come to the Tattle Tells channel, and come over here to get some, just to get interview and all that kind of stuff, because this is where it's at. You don't
I
think so?
disagree.
Okay.
I want to see Portia on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm only curious about two things. Are they going to give her the Portia family values treatment, or are they going to give her the season 9 and 10 Atlanta Housewives treatment? Because honestly, I think they would shatter records right now if they actually did what they did on Portia Family Matters. Like, she wasn't allowed to use those same tricks, walk off scenes. They really held her accountable. I think that might revive Housewives, but that said, the producers have messed up everything so far. Who knows what they're going to mess up? You know?
I hope they do it like they did with her family. I really do, because it's so messy. But also, I think that for me as a viewer, because I kind of gave up on the Housewives of Atlanta for a couple of years. I feel like thank God for your channel, because I feel like there's so much to unpack in upcoming months. I'm not surprised that she's, allegedly dating other people or going out or having a good time or whatever, because it feels like to me, I don't know, I think it was Erica from Beverly Hills, before her husband was even convicted or whatever, she was already dating and doing stuff. I think Portia might be going down that road too, just like Erica a little bit. So yeah, it's going to be good, a good season coming up. I don't know. I think it's really.
Well, here's the thing that's going to be good, right? They did that 9223 said, I believe she filed because they're about to seize them businesses and deport him. You cannot be here 30 years illegally. The government can seize all of your assets you acquire while being here illegally. Simon's businesses are over with. Now, the thing is, Simon doesn't have any businesses that he got to worry about, right? Because wherever his money's coming from, it's an offshore, blah, blah, blah. However, even the car that Portia was given, if they can prove, which how else are they, unless Portia bought that car for herself, if they can prove that Simon bought that car for Portia, baby, that's done too. Right. That's done too. Now, let me say this. There is a common thing coming up. Let me just say thank you really quick to AJ. AJ said it's funny because Dennis warned her. And also Prosperity Thick Girl 40 said, oh, what's up, guys? Y'all follow Prosperity Thick Girl 40. She does really good love and marriage recaps. She recaps everything, actually. She said, hey, Tattle Tells, called alive, says Portia is getting what she deserves. She knew about it. She's coming back to play victim and to get the people on lock. Portia, one thing about Portia, you think Portia's going to come back and play the victim? What do you think?
You know, it could be. It could be. I just think that for me, again, I can't wait for the months to unwrap, especially for you, because my little thing, and I don't have any receipts like the people on YouTube. I feel like it was no coincidence that she came back just before this drop with the deals with NBC. I personally, I don't have evidence, but I wonder if she didn't know about the FBI, she didn't know about the immigration. I'm a viewer of 90 Day Fiance, and sometimes when things get a little murky, they get a kind of a red flag hint that things are getting a little crazy with the applications and the paperwork. So I don't know. I just feel like maybe Portia knew something. She knew to sign that deal with Bravo. I'm happy she did, because I think it's going to be messy. It's going to be a really good season. But I do believe there's a lot more to unpack. I think that the work that you've done, you know, all these years, we have it on your channel. But I think going forward, my question to Portia is, what did you know? I'm not accusing her of any crimes.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that. No. But I think that for me, I want to know, you know, is it really that cutthroat, Portia? Like, are you really that kind of person who, you know, got into this, you really scanned this relationship with this man, and you really don't love him that much as you claim you do, and now that he's about to be deported back to wherever he came from, you're dropping him to get somebody else? By the time the reunion comes up next year, where the girls be like, oh, we saw Portia with this one and that one around Atlanta. Like, I can already see that happening. So
Yeah.
that's my question for Portia. Like, what's real?
Listen, I don't know what's real. I'm just speculating. I do believe that in the beginning, she did not know. I think that, let's be real, that mess about you living with someone for years and not knowing they got a double life, that only works with serial killers, baby. You know if that man was going to work. You know this and that. You like, it's just like, I think that she found out that money was funny. And that's when she started going out of her way to paint the image that her and Simon were wealthy. Because one thing I do know about people that have money, I mean, unless that's how they make their money on Instagram, there's a lot of people that got money, live lavishly, but they also get their income from, like, you know, creating like content on lifestyle content on Instagram. Portia and Simon weren't posting like that. So I just don't know many people that really got money that are really pressed about you believing that they got money, pressed about you believing they got a big house. Because it's like you being pressed for people to believe that you dress nice or you're this or that. It's just like, I'm not fine if you like it, but I'm not really going to go out my way and prove to you. Now, here's the thing. Somebody sent my question. I'm sorry, Angel Glam 5508 said, my question is, how was he able to stay in the U.S. all these years? A friend of mine has known of him in Atlanta since he's married to Fallon, who, may I add, is also an American. Why wasn't he able to secure a green card nor citizenship during this period? I don't get it. Was he involved in some sort of criminal activity? Dang, Portia took a major L. Hopefully she can secure a divorce quickly and completely sever ties with this clown. This is another who the F did I marry 98 fiance, Naija. Naija edition. Now, how was he able to stay here? The immigration judge in his ruling answered it. For 30 years, he was deported twice, snuck back in. The last time he was deported, he had applied for a visa 26 days. I mean, he had applied for a different visa in a fake name and identity.
Wow.
And when he got deported, 26 days after he got deported, that visa was approved. So he got that visa sent to him in Nigeria. He got documents. He got all this stuff made up, a passport in a fake name made up. And he entered the country in a fake name. And for the next 30 years, he lived off that green card. It wasn't until 2016 that he decided to go and make that green card permanent. And when he went to go make that green card permanent, because don't forget, Simon was running these scams before there were computers or internet systems, whatever, right? When he went to go make that green card permanent, they interviewed him. And to be fair, people with that SAW, that's a special agricultural worker, that's basically a farmhand. They said that even though America promised them eventually you can become a permanent resident, a naturalized citizenship, in the interview process, they start asking you questions to jam you up, to catch you in lies. They jammed Simon up. They caught him in lies. The rest was history. Simon tried to sue the U.S. government saying, if you guys hadn't caught me in lies and jammed me up in the interview process, then, you know, you would have given it. And the U.S. judge was like, there is no way. We all know that you lied. There's no way we're giving you citizenship. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so yeah,
true. Well,
it
you know
was
what?
a mess.
it's a hot mess. But I feel like my spider senses are telling me that when the divorce case go to court, I wouldn't be surprised if a Miss Tattle Tells video will show up as evidence, because you have all the receipts on this channel that can connect all the dots, and that probably would end up helping Porsha. So I think that she owes you a thank you. But I think that yeah, I just I'm shocked, and I want to know how innocent Porsha is. I mean, I want to know, it really is just all like a big scam from the beginning. Like, did she really think that he was broke when she married him, or did she find out in the middle of the marriage and now, like you said, doing damage control, where you go on your Instagram and other places just to you already know what's coming down the pike, and now you want to try to reserve, try to not be so embarrassed.
Well, the streets are saying that Porsha thought he had money. When they got married, she knew that the money was funny, but she thought it was still flowing in. But that said, Porsha's been going into her pocket a lot when she's with Simon.
Wow.
That wedding, the vacations, the wedding rings, the jewelry. Seriously, what has Simon given Porsha? That Nigerian that took her on a shopping spree in Harrods in London, she still got all that stuff. What has he actually given her? And please don't say that house. That house came with he bought the furniture in the house, right? That house, remember I did a story a long time ago when I was like, y'all, he dumped way too much money in a down payment. That house was like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 million. He put in 3.3 million. I said he did that for two reasons. One, his money's tied up in the house and it's equity. But two, that's a way for his money to be safe. Him telling Porsha things are a little tight. And now Porsha's spending her money because his money's just a little tight. But as soon as it frees up, don't worry, everything is going to be okay. Do you see? It's kind of like people back then were like, that's ridiculous. But no, he was trying to tie up his money so he'd have an excuse on why Porsha needs to dip into her money to make that household go. Now, here's the real gag, because baby, Simon outscammed himself. He flew too close to the sun. He never thought when he was buying that house that the U.S. immigration court he would fight it. Maybe he thought, maybe not. But when he bought that house, he was literally appealing the immigration, right? Because at first they said, nah, like you lied on your application, get out of here. No, we're not giving you permanent citizenship, because they didn't support him then, right? Because the U.S. government, they take a little while to get through stuff.
Do. Absolutely.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna sue y'all, because he thought things were sweet. He literally thought, and that's the thing with like, it makes me wonder when I said he don't fear God and he's reckless. You sued the government saying, so what if y'all caught me in a lie? That's your fault and you gonna give me citizenship. He got laughed out of court, but Simon conned himself, because when the deportation process starts, and who knows, it might already be starting, anything that you got or gained while you were in the U.S. gets seized by the government. This is a law that they use so that people don't just sneak into the country, build fortunes, and then go back home. No. So what does it mean? That 3.3 million or whatever he put in that house is gone. So you were trying to hide money from Porsha so she would have to go in her pocket. But now the place that you sunk the money in, that's gone too. And Porsha's name wasn't on the house. So here we are. It's it's a mess.
You know what? Listen, I think Fallon was smart. She got herself out of that situation, and then we had Porsha up here bragging on her social media about the love of her life, and she won everything, and now it's a hot mess. So I don't want Porsha to go down, but I'm definitely excited for the new season, and I don't think she's innocent. I think that she knew a couple of things towards the end. In my opinion, I don't know the people. Yeah,
no, sorry to interrupt you. Let me just be clear. Nobody wants to see Teresa. Like, nobody wants to see Porsha. I said Teresa Giudice. Nobody wants to see Porsha in jail.
No,
hopefully, this is just a little public embarrassment. Nobody told her to be so loud and proud about stealing that woman's man.
Come on now.
Good, like, you know what I'm saying? This is public embarrassment. This is that. But something about the way Porsha operates, the streets are saying that she's out right now. She ain't even losing these. She is out right now. Porsha don't usually leave a relationship unless she got something else to go to.
That's true. That I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
that's historically that has been her pattern. She when she was first with Cordell, allegedly she already had somebody lined up, and then when she was with her baby daddy, or with her the father of her daughter, beautiful daughter, she ended up going with Simon. So she always has. She never is without a relationship. I think she said it in Tamara Hall, somebody she was talking to. She's always in a
Yep.
relationship as an adult woman. She's always been in a relationship, always. So yeah.
Always. And like AJ said, he said it's funny because Dennis warned her. Thank you so much again, AJ. And also, Elevate Your Lifestyle. Thank you so much for being a member for 21 months. We've been rocking. This is a Tattle Tell reunion. We got Mel, we got Elevate Your Style, we got AJ, we got Andrew Davey, we got Prosperity Thick Girl, baby. This Liberia Rose even popped out for this girl. Sandra
Come on.
Woodard, you rejoined the Tattle Tells, baby. I know that's right. But listen, so where do you think, right? Where do you, this is what I want to, and let me know in the comments. And now I'm going to get your opinion, right?
Mhm.
Hit 1 if you think Simon's going to get messy and air Porsha out.
Oh,
Hit
absolutely.
2 if you think that they're going to respect each other and just leave with a lot of love. What y'all think is really going to happen? What y'all
No.
think?
Well, you know what? We've seen his pattern. He attacks. He attacks when he's losing. He attacks the women in his life. You know, he's going to definitely start going dirty with Porsha. Absolutely, especially if she's dating someone. If she's out there dating and getting past his alleged crimes and misdoings and problems, I'm not mad at her to try to move on. But yeah, her being happy is going to definitely trigger him, and he's definitely going to expose everything. Who knows? Like he might give her the Fallon treatment, basically, say that she was stealing stuff and cheating, and who knows what he'll say about the lady. Absolutely.
Who knows? Because the thing with Fallon, it's like he had a lot. Because here's the thing with Fallon, honestly. And this is in the trap. First of all, everybody show Scotty by Nature TV some love. He is the OG, still the realest and the illest doing this. He started this gossip game, and baby, he's still leading it. Make sure y'all follow Scotty by Nature. He is in the chat. What's up, Scotty? So listen, here's the thing that shocked me about the Fallon thing. All this flack that Porsha got from the world about being a homewrecker, Simon bought that on her head. Porsha wanted to keep their relationship a secret until after he got the divorce.
Right.
Simon then went over Porsha's head and posted that mess on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And when he posted that mess, first he was pressuring her to post something, claim him, because he wanted to hurt Fallon so bad. So Porsha posted that weird Mother's Day thing, and everybody was like, huh? What's Simon doing? And people are like, they're just friends.
Yeah.
And then you remember what happened after that? Then that wasn't enough. So he popped up and posted a picture talking about, yes, we are still in love. And that's when everybody was like, oh my God, if he had just listened to Porsha, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just waited till the divorce was finalized, Porsha's reputation would still be intact.
Right.
Nobody would be, I wouldn't have been diving into this stuff because I was just like, the one thing that interests me so much about Simon is, one, I could tell he was broke, but two, I was like, who is this man that you literally threw away your jobs, your reputation, everything for? And when you scratch the surface, you're like, oh my God, like it's not even a copper underneath here. It's like rotten, like mildewed oranges. And then when that happened, right, they still could have beat it. But Simon, like I said, you got to look at people's character. Everybody makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That whole check fraud, right? And listen, every guy got to pass. If it never took you to criminal stuff, good for you. But if when people in the 20s, we all were young, wild, and free. That's not, to me, really the issue. Now, the fact that he did it 2, 3, 4, 50, 11 times, that might be an issue, right? But everybody got something where you're just like, oh, that was dumb, But the thing is, he could have still gotten away with it. But I was even like, yo, who is this man that Porsha gave up everything for? What is he worth? I genuinely was just being nosy, thinking I was going to find palaces and this and that and people feeding him grapes. I was shocked. I honestly will say, I was shocked to find out.
Yeah, that's why that's what I'm saying right now. When the people are on the streets and internet, like I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You have not been to Tattle Tells channel because she has been talking about everything that's coming out now for the past 3 some odd years. So yeah, you're right. You're right. It was a shock. It was a shock. Not to be disrespectful to Simon, but you would not think that he would be her type, and so when she just went out there and became a pariah of social media and was, called every name but a Christian on every platform, you think, okay, well, this man got to be, treating you like a princess. And come to find out, he basically was treating her like a pauper. He definitely wasn't giving her the things that she needed, no respect, no security. Now, let's not talk about money because I don't get into the money thing. But I think that in relationships, if you can't even offer security and truthfulness, then yeah, you have a major problem. He didn't give her no security and no truthfulness, and it was all a puff of smoke. Now, to Portia's credit, she's obviously a strong woman. She's now a single mother again, unfortunately. And I'm not mad at her if she's out there having a good time. But I still think, Portia, yeah, I think that you come back to Real Housewives was not a coincidence. I think that you kind of felt the fire and you wanted to, land on your feet. I'm happy the cameras are there, hopefully. I mean, I'm not sure when they start filming. I hope they film now because I want to see what's going on.
I hope she woke up. Those things when they wake up and get out of bed and be like, oh, check their phones and you hear the dramatic music. Now, let me just express.
Yes.
Let me just interject. So Empress Love put, Portia didn't wreck any marriage. There's another after the before for everyone. Stop this man stealing BS. A man can't be stolen. Okay, first of all, Empress, can we stop acting willfully oblivious? We all know nobody can steal your man because, baby, a cheater is a cheater is a cheater. Baby, we are talking not even girl code. We are talking about this. Let me tell y'all something. It's not about the stealing man. It's about the disrespect that you were in my house, smiling in my face, laughing in my face.
Please.
That Simon can catch a fade when he get home. But, baby, that was disrespectful. And as much as you're saying a man can't be stolen, I'm glad you feel that. So guess what? Jump in Portia's DMs and invite her over to babysit your kids while you got to go to work and your man has his day off. Since can't nobody steal a man. Because this is things people don't realize. And this is why people was looking at Portia crazy. I completely trust my man. But I don't trust that you are not going to be in his face literally trying to do something that's going to have to make me literally check you. I don't think my man will go with you. I don't think my man will want you. And if he does, then baby, you're right. He was never mine. You're the cleanup woman. Go take him out to sleep in the street with the rest of the trash. That's the way I feel. But baby, there will be some reckoning for you being in my house trying it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're a thief, but baby, don't go in my purse. It's like I don't understand why people don't say it, but since you feel so strongly, Empress, please invite Portia to babysit the kids while you got to go to work and your man on the day off. Or if you're not working and you're a stay-at-home mom, great. When your man's home, let Portia babysit the kids so you can go out with the girls and he can sleep late because he works so hard, right? Because a man can't be stolen. That don't mean that Portia not going to be out of pocket disrespecting it. That's why people were upset. Please stop making it seem like it's a girl fight over Simon. It's not. But women, just like men, have different boundaries for respect. And anyone, man or woman, or whatever you identify as, your home is sacred. Somebody coming into your home and doing you dirty. Yeah,
well,
okay.
I mean, you know what? I don't hate Miss Portia, but I will say historically, and all her friends have said on the show and off the show said that she has issues with boundaries. That let's not even go down the road when we talk about Candy and all that situation. So the thing is, Portia is very questionable in her choices. And yeah, that was definitely one of those questionable choices. She's not innocent. She's not an evil woman. But yeah, we definitely can trust our partners if we want to. We cannot trust the world. We can't. The world is not a place where you can trust everybody. And Portia's a part of the world. She's not a part of that relationship that Simon had with Fallon. So she definitely saw something she thought was going to be good for her. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And she's going to learn a lesson that, you know what, you you be nice to people. Don't go out there touching things that's not yours. And because if you,
You said don't go out there touching things that aren't yours.
don't do it, because you know you're gonna have egg in your face when it happens. You're gonna have egg in your face when it falls apart. It's just that's what's happening now. But you know, God bless her.
God bless her. Listen, this ain't about any victims. If anything, people are talking about Fallon ain't no victim. She was pregnant, baby. This
No.
is not, let's feel sorry for someone. Maybe in this story, everybody's a monster. We're talking about who lost what. I said it a million times. Ain't no way you got a man worth 500 million that's a dedicated father, that's, according to PORSHA, a good lover.
Ooh,
Somebody that
Lord.
loves you down, somebody that spoils you. You're his perfect princess. Ain't no way you are just throwing that away and being reckless. Say what you want about Fallon. She is not mentally insane. That's when I also knew something was up, because I was like, women just don't walk away from a good man like that. I know these incel channels be loving to be like, oh, these women walk away from a good man for it. No, they don't. Women stay with good men. Women stay with okay men. Women stay with men that, okay, well, you know, he's mine and I'm gonna stick with them. So it's not that, it's the fact that who really lost something in the situation? What if Fallon lose? She don't gotta let Simon crawl on top of her anymore.
Ooh.
She's out there in the streets doing what she wants, and she's living her life. What did she lose? The ability to be Simon's roommate? And let's not forget that Fallon had her name on one of those houses. So what? And she got equity out of it. And she
Right.
got her prenup. So what did she lose? What did she lose? Honestly, Fallon is no more worse for the wear than she was while she was with Simon and before. Y'all can believe those private jet pictures, but they were rented, and they only did that whenever Simon had to move stuff in between Costa Rica and Atlanta.
Right.
What did Simon lose? Nothing. He was already reckless. He was already didn't fear God. What did Simon lose? Honestly.
You know what I think with Simon? I think that in my opinion, again, I don't know the man. I think he's a still of time. You know, I think that no matter if you're gay, straight, or whatever, when you meet these kind of people like Simon, when it's all over, you go, dang, I lost my time. Now, I know Fallon and PORSHA, whether you like the ladies or not, that man came to them and said that he was going to take care of them. He's going to give them security. And what he did was to get him a lot of problems, a lot of stress. So he was emotionally abusive to people, whatever. And maybe for PORSHA too, he took their time. Now they came into those relationships with an understanding that this is what's going to happen. He didn't keep up his bargain because he wasn't being a good partner to these ladies. So now they had to go out there and do the best they can, like, you know, allegedly PORSHA doing now. He steals people's times. And he's you know, not being very honest, you know, and that's why people are not really, you know, I think that for another woman, if he gets out of this situation, get out of the relationship, that next woman better be very careful, you know, and have something in writing like, are you going to take my time? Are you going to put me through the ringer? Are you going to embarrass me? Like, you know, come on.
But hear this out though. Even in that respect, someone wasting your time,
Right,
when you're 26 is different than somebody wasting your time when you're 40. And again, 40 is young. It is.
right.
But PORSHA don't think 40 is young. PORSHA spent the better part of her career calling Kenya an old hoe from the 80s. And now PORSHA finds herself an old hoe from what, the 2000s?
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she's a hoe, but I'm just saying that, like, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is PORSHA literally, that whole dumb act don't work when you are 40 something, because everybody look at you and be like, you can't be this dumb at 40 something. That's literally impossible. This has to be an act where you can get by. Even the time wasted, Fallon, like what, lost 5 years. So now you're 30, you're still really, really young, right? The kids are older, so it's probably going to be easier to find somebody because there's not a bunch of little kids running around. She just got one cute little girl, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody else is getting older. What did PORSHA, Simon, what did he lose? Nothing. He got the same thing he came in with, basically, right? Now let's look at what PORSHA lost. She lost time that she desperately wanted. PORSHA was one of the biggest people I've ever seen be scared of turning 40. She ran from that, and she did not want to be single and a single mom at 40, right? Ain't nothing wrong with being a single mom at 40. Ain't like none of this is wrong. It's actually like, girl, do you. Every life is different. But PORSHA was afraid of that. PORSHA had 3 jobs going in, 3 good jobs, 3 jobs that she could have leveraged into something more. She had Disnation. Yeah. She was doing commercials. She had Bravo.
Yeah.
Portia also was America's sweetheart. She had such a good public image. So she could have gotten a lot of sponsorship. Let's also not forget, because y'all forget, Portia had signed on with CAA. That is the largest talent group that represents movie stars. Portia was handpicked from the Real Housewives of Atlanta that she was going to make the jump into action, acting, sponsorships, endorsements. CAA was her MF and agent. Do you know how huge that is for CAA? Portia also had a book coming out that CAA helped her do. Portia was going to leverage her good girl image. And while we clowned her pursuit of Portia, because once we saw the way she handled things with Simon, we saw it was all smoke and mirrors. But had it not been, we just would have been like, oh, okay, that's cute. Like, the book sounds a little dumb, but Portia's dumb, right? That's cute. Portia was set by her agents and tapped by Hollywood to be the next Nene Leakes, making that jump.
Right.
And Portia fumbled all of that because she thought she was marrying a man worth 500 million, and she would never have to work again. And then when that thing got slid back to 50 million, she still was like, that's enough, because at the end of the day, I don't want to work. So when we look at who the biggest loser was, it was Portia. Portia got played. Portia actually lost. And that's a weird thing. This is the last thing I'm saying, and then I'll let y'all talk. I'll let you talk. I don't understand Portia's mindset, because every woman that's a kept woman was trying to get to where Portia was at, where she could make her own money, her own brand, and really branch out and do some big things. Portia was trying to move backwards and become a kept woman. When anyone that's ever been a kept woman knows you got to keep your own thing going. You can't put your faith in anybody but God, and no man is God. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. What was you saying?
No, well, I think you said, listen, I agree with everything you said. I forgot about her book. I forgot all about that book. And you're right. When I think about it, it just was so, yeah, I mean, it was a hot mess. She was set up to really do very well. And I think, I'm trying to remember if she left the show before the scandal happened. I think maybe when it happened, she had to make the decision. But yeah, she was doing pretty good. And yeah, he came along, he gave her false promises, and he messed up her brand. I guess that's what you're describing. She had a brand that was really strong, and I think maybe she'll get it back with some time. But yeah, it's definitely damaged with this whole marriage that she got into with this man, and how, he was divorced and all this stuff. So yeah, he definitely messed up her brand. Hopefully she can be compensated for whatever he has left in the divorce. Who knows if she just go out like my girl Tina Turner, just go out with her name, and that's what she's going to leave with. Who knows? Listen,
Portia is dynamic. She shines. Portia is a reality TV star, and who knows? Maybe I joke about, but maybe she's a good actress, and she can become like a network star, right? She can pick up where Nene left off, because Nene, there was personal things going on, and hopefully she can rebuild. And honestly, Portia's is resilient. She's bounced back so many times. But I will say, I think you hit it on the head. Simon is a stiller of time, and the time he made Portia lose and the opportunities he made her lose are going to take a long time to come back, especially when your brand is that you are a sweetheart. You believe in love, loved ones. I'll tell you one way Portia can get her brand back really quickly, just by evolving and reinventing herself and showing a more true representation of who she is, whether that's being the villain or the hero, because people respond to authenticity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She got all those people on her side when she was going through the divorce with Cordell, because her hurt was so palpable. Listen, Portia, I don't know. What you think? How do you think she can rebuild this?
Well, yeah, I think that definitely being more authentic, being more real. I think that you brought up a lot of good points, because I forgot about her reality show, the one that the spinoff. I think that when I watched it, I was annoyed with her because she was micromanaging or trying to not really show the truth. When with the family was not really happy with her, some other things was happening. So I hope that when she comes back to the Real Housewives, she doesn't do that. She doesn't get that messy and want to hide everything. Just be transparent. Fall on your sword if you have to. Say that you made some mistakes, that even the thing that the ladies don't talk about on the Housewives, they didn't really like to talk about money and about security. But if she wanted to be real, I would love for her to go there and say, I did marry him not because I loved his looks, but because he promised me so deeply that he was going to take care of me for, as you said, so many years, me and my daughter. I would connect with that as a viewer, but just to play the shock card, the victim card, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if she's going to do that. And if she's messy, and if she's really honestly, I'm dating now, that might be good. I mean, just be real. Just be real. Whether it's whether the audience likes it or not, I would enjoy that.
Yeah, Dina the Explorer says Portia is a civil rights activist where she's a hair mogul. Portia herself said gold naked hair has not made any profit. She's a journalist. I'll give her that, right? Hopefully that journalist can find another job. She's an influencer. Have you seen any ads on her page besides when she was talking intimate toys? Maybe. She's a singer. I gotta let you go. She is a singer. Flatline was my jam. That was a cute bob.
Right.
She's an actress. Yeah. And she's a boxer.
That's true. You know what? We
Dina the Explorer, you are so silly. She said that she's a boxer.
Miss Dina, you forgot
Go on.
one thing of that you forgot that she's a scholar too. She's a college professor, of course, because she knew about the Underground Railroad. So we got
exactly.
Portia is a scholar. You understand? She's a scholar, but
Listen, she said, Portia is all of those things. Dina, leave us alone. She put that in there. She said, and she's also a boxer. Thank you, Dina. You gave us a key. She put it in.
She's multi-talented.
Listen. Oh my God. Dina the Explorer said she a preacher too. She pulling up all those things. And she's a scammer. The only thing is, like I said before, listen, I'm not saying she was scamming on Simon's level, but baby, she thought she robbed a bank, and she literally got around the corner and realized it was a old beat up bag, Crown Royal bag with some rusty pennies and a few nickels inside. Y'all listen. Andrew David said Portia already got a new Real Housewives Atlanta contract, and the contract for NBC Universal scripted content. I want to talk about that contract before we go, because a lot of people don't understand what that contract is. If you read the terms of Portia's contract, at least what she put up, NBC Universal does not promise her any shows. They say that she's exclusive. Portia's contract is actually a pretty poor contract, because here's the thing. The people that work for Housewives always had the option of working for NBC Universal. They also always had the option of doing side gigs. Dish Nation, doing this, doing that. Even the way Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac became an actress. Okay? And she did that outside of Real Housewives of Potomac. What Housewives did was realize they saw that once Bethany made it big, that's when they put in everybody's contract. If you ever do anything, we get like 30 or 40 or 50% of the whatever their fee is.
That's right.
They took that same mess and they saw what Candace did, going outside of the network and getting an acting job, basically using her platform to get an acting job. And something that, one, could take her away from the show, but two, NBC doesn't have money with that. They got Portia and they said, no. You're in an exclusive contract. You cannot do scripted content anywhere else but on NBC Universal. But NBC Universal did not promise her, we'll give you a show, we'll give you a role. So what does that sound like to you? It sounds like Portia is in a 360 deal. She cannot become an actress on any other network. She cannot work on any other shows. She is exclusively bound to NBC Universal. That was not a good thing for Portia. Now, I'm not saying that Portia won't be acting, but Portia got an audition just like everybody else. It's not like a show like Candy and the Gang, when Candy was actually promised and they gave her the amount of shows they were going to give her. And they also were like, oh, okay, like we'll green light. We have first right of refusal. It's nothing like that. Portia is basically in a 360 deal. That is not a good thing for Portia. It's not a good thing for anybody. That's all I want to say about this, right?
No, I think, you know what? I know a little bit about that, where you're absolutely right. You know what I was going to say too, Tisa? Isn't it true that so many different big Instagram stars, they get the same deal? They may not be for Bravo, but they get this thing where they go viral. And then somebody from the network will say, okay, well, I want to put you on contract. What happens is they get put on ice for such a long time. And sometimes the talent gets so bored with it and say, well, how in the world can I get out of it without paying a lot of fees for the thing? So sometimes you end up having to wait a certain amount of years until it ends up, if you don't have the coin to get you out that contract. So it does kind of trap you. So it's just like, it's almost like the networks are so excited by you, but they don't know what to do with you. So they just hold you just so nobody else can do anything with you. So yeah,
I don't even think it's too much a point of being excited. I just know that they know that Portia will jump from opportunity to opportunity. And I don't even think it's just Portia. I think moving forward, after they saw Candace, I think every new housewife that signs on, Bravo makes sure that if you jump, they either keep you in house or I don't think legally they can garnish, like get a percentage of you being an actor on another show, because they cannot prove that you used the platform.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you got to audition and they got to pick you. So it's like too intangible. They can show product placement. You're a Bravo celebrity. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why they said you're stuck here. And on top of that, she still has to pitch, audition, be approved, and all that stuff for her. So again, like you said, it's just like with Instagrammers. And then you're so right. The way they, when somebody once you quit, you have to do it. Like there's a release clause, right? So for 2 years, you can't work anything else. So if anybody wants you, they have to buy you out of the contract. And that goes away from your wages. So now you're still making a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, because I love my RuPaul. So the girls over there, they've been having a little bit of dust up. So that's kind of when I was going into that world, when I saw the talent of either any singers or any kind of performers. They become very viral, and then people get these contracts on them. Yeah, it's definitely, I think that the way that some of the bloggers would tell it, that they say, oh my gosh, Portia got this scripted contract. We're going to see her on Law and Order. I'm like, really? Okay, we're going to see Law and Order, Miss Portia Williams up there talking about, doing the crime shows. But yeah, she got an audition, and no, I don't know. But yeah, they didn't give her no, they didn't give her no spot on NBC as far as, no new drama coming up next year sometime. So.
Exactly. Listen, we're going to see how this plays out, because I have a feeling that Simon is going to start singing like a canary. He's already told us he's back in Costa Rica because, baby, he said he was in good old USA. He must have snuck in under the cover at night, or maybe he had to go sign paperwork to be like, no, Your Honor, I would leave willingly.
Right.
He's back in Costa Rica. Let's wait for his Instagram live, y'all. Go ahead and subscribe to Simon Gabodio so we can see if he do a live on Portia. I do want to say this real quick. Liberia Rose, Sandra Woodard, Miss Charmaine, Chandra Woodard, thank you so much for joining. Also, Tamara Allen, Vina Person, Lindak. Listen, I will say one thing. Don't forget Members Only Monday. You guys meet me there. We're going to talk about the stuff we can't talk about on live. Alexandra Barrios, Andrew Davey, Omani, Harold Pep, AJ, Bunny McKenzie Mack. I love that name, Bunny McKenzie Mack. AJ, again, thank you for blessing me. Trice, Prosperity, Thick Girl. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Prosperity, Thick Girl, and Elevate Your Style. Thank you so much for the generous gifts, for the memberships, for the super chats. Mel, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to get out of here, but y'all, I promise you, I got more information. More videos are coming. And more importantly, we might just jump on live tomorrow, because if what I've been hearing is going to happen is actually going to happen tonight, baby, we're going to have a lot to discuss tomorrow. All right, y'all. Y'all stay safe. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.